Stop waiting for permission. 2 years into building our startup, we had met with over 100 businesses and had very little to show for it. Our product was a revolutionary digital identity service that secured customer data and almost entirely eliminated the possibility of fraud. So why was everyone we were speaking to commending us instead of paying us? You know, after a meeting, you might just want to say, "Sir, I acknowledge and appreciate that you realize the innovative nature of our service, but do you think that we could get a check with that, please?" We weren't getting any checks. 2 years of this meant something was fundamentally wrong with how we were approaching the market. It did not help that we had been bootstrapping for 2 years without substantial income, and it had done a significant number on our personal pockets and property. So one night, I sat alone, performing a deep introspection into our entire business process. I asked myself, why weren't we getting paid? Was our product too complicated? Were we missing an important feature? Then my mind drifted off to the origin of our company. The day I submitted my resignation letter at the bank and the vision I had for starting FloodGates. And then everything that had happened in between. Was this business even worth it? I asked myself. Would we ever succeed? When you set out to achieve something out of the ordinary, everyone challenges you with rational and genuine concern. Your family and friends think that you are crazy for leaving a very stable job and trying to change the world. Their questions range from complex ones, such as, how will you navigate the regulatory terrain, to simpler and much more concerning ones like, how will you survive? I had gone past that. The Association of Concerned People had finally given up on me. Finally. But I was faced with a new challenge. Our product that had the capacity to transform businesses and financial services was not being adopted. That night, I realized that we were restricted by our subconscious need for approval from the big names in the industry. We felt that once we had the permission of certain companies and institutional bodies, our growth would skyrocket. Digital identity integration presented marvelous benefits for businesses that would adopt it. But we suffered from having to wait for the banks, insurance companies, and healthcare companies to choose to adopt our new approach for us to be in business. After all, who wouldn't want a more reliable and secure method of interacting with their customers? It turned out to be an afterthought for everyone. Even our product at the time reflected that desire for permission. It did not operate to solve a pressing need for the customer like we thought. And believe it or not, advanced authentication security is not a pressing need for financial institutions. It was an important lesson that we ended up learning the hard way. Businesses were more concerned about the core metrics which signified growth. The number of leads, the number of customers acquired, the number of products and services sold, and the rate of growth of these three. Our digital identity service in its initial stages did nothing particularly to affect these metrics for businesses. But I remembered that FloodGates did not set out to merely provide digital identity and authentication services to businesses. We set out to make life easier for the customer. We wanted to solve the problem of access to business and financial services and promote financial inclusion. Our desire was to ensure that people would not have to wait in long queues, having left their homes, to access services that technology could provide to them anywhere, securely and immediately. And yet, our innovation was stifled because we had been waiting for permission. The answer came to me in one sentence: stop waiting for permission. It marked a major turning point in our company. That night, I sent voice notes to my team members and spent the night thinking up a new strategy. Over the next year, we extended Trusted's range of services. We did not simply provide digital identity and authentication services. Those are now merely security infrastructure for our actual business, providing digital forms for onboarding and customer engagement, a services marketplace to find and connect with businesses. And also, we went on to provide Ghana's first public-facing credit scoring and origination service, which today enables our users to obtain loans and financing from financial institutions and service providers in less than 5 minutes compared to the industry standard of 2 weeks. That sentence totally changed our business and increased our relevance in the market. Today, we have other businesses chasing us to enlist on our marketplace, and we have received multiple awards, including being the #1 democracy-affirming startup in Africa and top 5 worldwide, as well as even visiting the White House. Thinking back at this, I realized that permission seeking for new ideas is a natural human condition that is developed as a result of our socialization from childhood. But we did not start out this way. When we were born, we were excited about the world. We wanted to touch everything, push everything, pull everything. In fact, our curiosity started out as very cute, but quickly escalated to terrorism within the home, a nightmare to handle, almost driving our parents crazy. They went from saying, "Oh, do you want to hold it? Here you go," to, "Hey, put that glass down." Growing up, society taught us to understand that when something wasn't within our domain of ownership, we needed permission to interact with it. Not disturbing the order of things is a tenet of civilization. So society punishes deviation from the norm so much that it creates a subconscious need for approval, even when none is needed. Permission seeking can take many forms. It could be the need for approval, the need for support, or even the need for recognition. This is interesting because almost no one is ever supported before they have demonstrated a strong capacity in the endeavor that they have chosen to pursue. Contrary to popular belief, and although it is our utmost desire, support for your mission comes later, many times when it is no longer needed in the way that it was. Work not done cannot be awarded, cannot be respected, and cannot be applauded. Sometimes we make the mistake of wanting people to respect us because we have potential. However, this is wrong in principle. If potential alone is recognized, what value would the applause for the final achievement have? For everyone here and at every stage in our lives, we can catch ourselves waiting for permission in one form or another before we take the next step. If we continue to wait, we will wait forever. For this is the paradox of permission. Those who wait for it never start, and those who proceed without it realize they never needed it in the first place. So start today, make that call, create that podcast, write that newsletter, and for the future founders listening today, build that company. Stop waiting for permission. Thank you.